So earlier today, I uploaded a clip from a video I did about 12 years ago. It's going to be 12 years next month on April 21st. And in the clip, I talked about Sally gut punching Fiona. Now, the original video had more of, things that I was talking about, more information, and thoughts on other things that I was talking about. One of them, of course, being, Monkey Khan, Ken Khan being placed in the role of a Jeffrey St. John as the third love interest for Sally. But long story short, as I've mentioned multiple times before, that romance that Khan had with Sally was only meant for the Iron Dominion arc, and that was it, because afterwards it was just Sonic and Sally all the way. In other words, it was being used to help build up that relationship once again between Sal and Son. But with that said, the main clip that I uploaded from that video, well, like I said, was Sally gut punching Fiona. And I mentioned in that video that I think it was a culmination of a lot of things. One, it was the fact that she was sick and tired of Fiona toying with Tails' emotions, and she was doing it right in front of them right then and there. So Sally's like, oh no you don't, bam, get to the point as to why you're here. Because that's what she wanted. She wanted Fiona to get to the point as to why you want to work with them, or why you want to work with us, and all that. And also the fact that, again, she, right there in front of her, she was trying to manipulate Tails, and Sally, like the big sister, was like, oh no you don't, bam. And I think, honestly, Fiona should be thankful it was Sally and not Bunny. Because if Bunny was there in Sally's place, I don't think Fiona would be around, honestly. Let's put it that way. But yeah, Sally basically, doing what she did, it, to me, as I mentioned in the original clip, was a culmination of a lot of things. And I think the culmination, as I mentioned, was not just the fact that, Fiona was had messed with Tails' feelings in the past and was doing it right in front of them as, she was trying to bargain. But also I think it's the fact that Fiona decided to turn her back on the Freedom Fighters to go with Scourge for some, for some unexplained reason. Well, she did kind of, I think, explain why she did it. Basically, long story short, Fiona felt that the Freedom Fighters were going soft. Mostly Sonic was soft and was not taking the necessary measures to protect everybody from someone like Eggman or something to that extent. But with that said, again, I think it was a culmination of not just that, of her messing with Tails' feelings and then doing it right in front of them, but as well as the betrayal. As I mentioned too, I think it's because of the fact that when her marriage to the evil Antoine, aka Patch, was annulled, she didn't have someone she could fall back on and probably try again with until later on, and that of course was because Fiona was the one dating Sonic. But yet, I think what really pissed Sally off, and is a combination as to why she did what she did, was because obviously Fiona wasn't truly committed to the thing with Sonic, or else she wouldn't have gone off and did what she did. But the question always was, that some people would have is, was she justified to do what she did? And I think honestly I think anybody would say, yeah, honestly she was, because of everything I mentioned. And here's what's funny though. When they encountered Fiona and the Suppression Squad, when they encountered them, she was like, let's get at these guys, let's kick their ass. And she even pointed out to Fiona, hey, I was saving you for myself. Because again, I think when you have any character, and we've seen it in the past, any character betray the Freedom Fighters in their cause for any reason, even if it doesn't make sense, you're going to get on the bad side, because you're basically throwing away their goals to pursue something that may not be, a satisfying goal in the end. And, with Sally, to be portrayed on several occasions, but then have someone like Fiona betray, not only the Freedom Fighters, but betray two of her closest friends, and one that looks at her as a big sister, that's crossing the line. Oh, and one that's trying to maybe, get something going again with her, try to rebuild a friendship, and then maybe take that next step to go even further, that's crossing the line. Now, I like that, Sally did apologize for, letting that anger come out and be in her being brutish the way she was. And I do like the fact that all the guys, all the males in the group, Sonic, Tails, and Monkey Kong were like, "Hey, I liked it. Hey, you don't have to apologize. I agree. I loved what you did. That was hot. That was saucy." It's like, to them, it's like, whoa, where has this side of you been all whole life? And Sally's reaction being like, it's like, oh boy, I really put myself into this situation, didn't I? Or I really stepped into it here. Because even though she apologized, she just pretty much showed the guys, hey, there's more to me than just, just a regular combative, fighter and defender and princess of the planet, if you know what I mean. But again, the question does get, asked, was she justified in her actions? And a lot of people would say yes. She was justified, because when you have a character like Tails in the comics that looked up to her as a big sister, getting manipulated by someone that, hey, you thought maybe you could trust and give a second chance to redeem herself as a part of the team and a potential freedom fighter. Yeah, like I mentioned, that's pretty much crossing the line for her. That's like you're crossing the line and everything. You don't want to go any further. And then for her to do what she did, to Sonic as well, that's like really crossing, really thinning out that line that she's crossing even more, to where she's really stepping over it more so than she should. But to me, I think what really justified Sally doing what she did was, like I said, a combination of all that, a combination of the fact that she betrayed the entire team, but also the fact that right in front of them, Fiona was manipulating, trying to manipulate Tails because of his feelings for her. And that was pretty much enough to drive Sally right over the edge, where she's like, that's it, bitch, boom. And she did what she did. So was she justified in her actions? Yes. Was it a side of the character we've never seen before in a while, if at all? Absolutely. But I think, honestly, that might have been what Ian wanted to do. Because remember, Ian said he wanted to clean the comic up a little bit, as well as try out some new things for the characters. And I think with Sally, in the original run of the comic before the soft retcon and reboot, I think he wanted to try something out even after the Mecha Sally deal, to where maybe she would develop some anger issues. Like if you push her too far from a personal standpoint, she's going to push back, and the way she'll push back may not be exactly what you expect. And by saying that, it could be basically a side of her that you're going to wish, you never brought out. And I think that's what Ian wanted to experiment with someone like Sally. Like, here's this cool, calm, collective princess that always has a plan, but if you push her too far, you're going to bring out a side of her that you're going to regret in the long run. So again, was she justified in her actions? Yes. But I think it was all part of a plan from a story perspective and a character developing perspective that Ian had in mind for someone like Sally. In other words, have her bring out the side of her that she doesn't like to always show, and indicate that maybe there's more to her than she's letting on. But what do you guys think? Let me know down below. Comment if you like. Live super chat during the video if you want, a little live chat. And until next time, guys, I am out.